Who are you?
My name is Bond.
I am Groot!
Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya.
I am Steve Rogers.
Spartans!
Damn it, what do you want?
Wanna play psycho killer?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
E.T. Home phone.
I was deep drop. It completely dropped off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number one podcast for the 90s millennial baby lover of all time. I am, of course, the Podcast Mogul Phil Better, who thinks he knows a lot about movies but knows nothing. And with me, as always, is the pulp culture expert, the guy who knows more about movies than I will ever dream to have known. And one of my closest friends, and lucky enough, has a tattoo artist living with him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Aaron Talks Films.
Hi. Yes. There's
so a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. No. All right. First off, stop building me up like that because it always tends to go wrong. every time you're like, oh, he knows everything about movies and pop culture, and then halfway through the episode, we're like, who's that person? Who's that really famous person?
Yeah, and but I set it up because I have Clueless sitting right here. I'm sitting down while we're doing this, so it's a little easier for me to figure things out. I'm not bending over backwards. I got a little background for this show, and I guess when I'm guesting on things, we were talking a bit before. I'm talking a lot because it's the new year, and this is the first time we've talked in the new year.
Properly, yeah. We've exchanged a few messages, saying hi, how are you?
Flirtatious texts.
Yeah, some naughty.
I got some
pictures.
naughty pictures. Yeah, I was. Look at that.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's pretty much the same as last year, isn't it? Nothing's changed except I now have access to really easy tattoos, as you mentioned.
Yeah, you have a new tattoo. Yeah. You can go over to your. I believe it's on your TikTok, right, Aaron?
Yeah. My wife got a hold of a tattoo gun, and
I think I can peek it out. I can somewhat see it.
Yeah,
there it is. It's nice right there. It's the darkest
there's
one,
right there. And that's a little tiny dinosaur just down here.
Oh, rawr. Yeah, you put it on your TikTok, and it was really awesome to see.
Because, it was a case of we spoke about it for a while because my wife's very artistic. We both love tattoos, and we finally got one. And she practiced for a few days on some fake skin, which didn't last long because it got covered up super quickly. And I just said to her, just do it on me. Like, I have so many bad tattoos anyway. There's space there. Just go for it. And I managed to talk her into doing it. And now it's, it's going to be a case of whenever I just get an idea, it's just going to go straight on my body. Which is probably not the best idea, but...
At the same time, I think it is. Because, look, I was chatting with some people, and I define myself as an adult, a child at heart, a child with adult money.
Yes.
And I should not There's a good as you look around. I don't have mine. Mine are up on a shelf. I'll be moving them in a bit, probably to take up space there or something. But I have there was a TikTok of this lady saying that why am I allowed to be an adult? I have adult money. And she's playing around with swords, and it's we get the stuff that our parents, when you're either single, I don't know about, I guess with parents, it's anybody really, anyone in the millennial age or elder millennial or whatever you want to call us, we have adult money. We have access to adult money, and we're doing stupid, it's not stupid things, it's great things, but it's also things there should be technically someone saying we shouldn't do this, but why shouldn't we be doing this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, again, when I say it's stupid, it's not that bad. I think the main reason, because I have so many tattoo ideas in my head, but the main reason I haven't had them done is because it takes time and money. And it's a lot of money. Even if I just wanted to go in and get a tiny tattoo, you're paying
that
for
probably
the time.
Would have cost you at least 50 quid.
Yeah, around that, because it's not just the the tattoo itself. It's the artist's time
Yeah.
and their effort,
which they're
And-
supposed to be paid as.
yeah,
the
no,
artists.
rightly so, because they are so
Like
talented.
the one on
but-
your hand, like is a gorgeous one. Yes, it's the Thanos
yes, yeah,
Infinity
and that-
Gauntlet. It's gorgeous, and the artist has years of expertise to get to that level, and it charges quite a bit for it.
Yeah, no,
because it's
exactly.
gorgeous.
They are well within their right to charge money that they do, but it's just I cannot afford that as much as I'd like to. So now all we have to do is pay for the ink, which is very cheap. Some fresh needles, again, very cheap. It's all very cheap stuff, and I can just
have
like I
affordable
say,
you know what's great is your wife can use you as a portfolio of like, look at how great I went. I started with like she's already amazing. Like the ghost face is beautiful, and the dinosaur is just cute. Is that hand? Both of those were freehand, or were they?
No, we drew them on my arm first, yeah, and then she done it. But the fact that she done the dinosaur first, and then 10 minutes later she did Ghostface, and it's not just the drawing; it's the shading and the coloring as well, which is very. I put it on a horror fans page on Facebook, and every single comment is that looks like a professional has done it. And this was her second tattoo in the space of half an hour, and it's just crazy. That's what I mean. She's super talented.
Oh, by the way, when I come over, she's tattooing me. Just FYI, I'm looking forward to it.
You don't get to choose what it is, but yes, we will do that.
I want it to be about the size of Ghostface on your arm right there.
Yes, that's fine. Yes.
Okay.
I've got so many ideas. It's crazy. My head is just crammed with ideas. I've got a whole folder in my phone full up with possible tattoo ideas, and it's just
awesome.
Yeah, she's not comfortable yet because a lot of them have straight lines and curved lines.
Yeah,
very difficult.
But it's in time. In time, that's all
yeah,
it is.
and yes, I just cannot wait. It's going to be a good year for me and my tattooing. Just
you're going to be a very
nonsense.
happy camper, aren't you?
Yes, I can't wait.
Awesome. So guys, as you can tell by the title, we are reviewing the movie like Clueless. Pretty much the original. If you saw Mean Girls, this is the precursor. This is the Gen Z version of Mean Girls, and Mean Girls were the millennial version.
From '95. I keep forgetting how old this movie is. Like I say,
Paul Rudd's in it, and he's timeless.
And he looks the same.
I don't
literally looks the same. And to be fair, Alicia Silverstone could probably pass for a teenager still.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Looking at them, they do not look like teenagers. You can clearly tell that they're in their 20s and 30s.
But that's because that's what they do in these movies. They can't get actual teenagers because they cannot act. Well, they can now.
Like I remember
95.
watching this and going, "Oh my god!" So that's how high schoolers look, and then going to high school and being like, "These bitches don't look like what? Huh?" Being completely confused because the girls I was going with high school, they were not Alicia Silverstone. They were not Salmon.
No, the girls that I went to high school with looked more like, Paul Rudd, and not in a good way, So it's very different over in England.
But yeah, we have. Let's see here. We got Elisa Silverstone playing Cher. We got Stacey Dash as Dawn or whatever you would call her. Yeah. Brittany Murphy as Ty. Paul Rudd as Josh. You got Damon Faison as Murray. Lisa Donovan as Amber, and Brian Maynard as Travis, who I have to say is looking fabulous.
Yes, he still looks very good. That's
jeez, that goal
it's Hollywood, man.
He's got he went from like dweeb to hunk.
Yeah.
That beard is suiting him really well. The gray patch at the I'm sorry, I'm over oodling a man. I apologize. And then I got Paul Rudd just staring at me like I'm done. But yes, Clueless had Wallace Shawn, Dan Hayday in it. You had some amazing people in it. It's like the precursor to Mean Girls, I would say. The original version of Mean Girls.
All of those sorts of movies, those typical high school like popularity contest sort of movies, it's all about the popular girls, and
apparently it's loosely based on a Jane Austen 1815 novel called Emma. So the plot centers on Cher Horowitz, a beautiful, popular, and rich high school student who befriends a new student named Tia Fraser and decides to give her a makeover. It was filmed in 40 days.
Look like it.
The film director studied real Beverly Hills school students to understand how real teens in the 90s talked and learned some appropriate slang terms. The film grossed $56 million in the US and received positive reviews and considered one of the best teen films of all time, which I have to say, yes.
Yeah, it's a cult classic. I mean, when you said to me to watch this, I was like, I've never seen this properly, but my stepdaughters and my wife, I've seen them watching it, and I've been, in the room as it's been on. So I kind of, throughout the years, I'd seen the whole movie without even realizing I'd seen the whole movie, because when I finally sat down to actually watch it, it felt like I'd seen it for like the sixth time, and it's a drag. It really, like, we'll get into it properly.
It's a movie of the 90s with overly used 90 cliches of the time.
We're both nostalgics. We love this 90s stuff, even back to the 80s. We love all that. I watched The Thing the other day, the original Thing, just because I was bored and I thought I want to put that on. But we're not going to, we should talk about that, but we're not going to.
It will be in the, I have to get Sir Surdy to help me set up a wheel for this and keep that going.
Yeah.
I'm so lazy at that part. That's the thing. I have to get better at that. I apologize.
Yeah, I can't remember what my point was. Yeah, but I love all this nostalgic crap, and it's just tough because it's not aimed at me either. Like I'm not a 15-year-old.
It's not aimed at me either. Hello.
Yeah, but I know that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not aimed at us, is it? It's not aimed at our gender or our culture sort of things. So it's an American high school with prissy girls.
It's not even. It's a Beverly. Here's the problem. It's a strictly Beverly Hills high school.
Yeah.
There's no other high schools like it. Like, if you go to my high school, it's kind of a typical Anglophone high school in Quebec, but it's nowhere near what's going on in like a New York or anywhere else.
No, but again, I'm in England. I went to an all-boys high school and just got bullied for 6 years. So it's nothing compared to what they got. I wasn't a rich, spoiled, daddy's girl. I was a very lonely outcast that got bullied. And
now is having a fucking media empire growing underneath him.
Yeah, I mean, like, the bullying shaped who I was. So I'm not upset about the bullying. I don't care. It's not a thing. Like, I wasn't affected then, and I'm not affected now.
Who's bullying you?
Oh, I've got a list of names. Come over and we'll go through the list. Most of them are probably in jail, so I don't care. Like, it's fine. What I'm saying is, my life is the furthest away from Cher's, and I can't relate to these characters at all. Yeah, I think that's why I found it so boring, because I get why it's popular. There were parts of it that I enjoyed, and I understood everything that was going on, but it doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. So it was just so boring. I even messaged you about halfway through and just said, this is so boring. I don't want to do this, but I'm committed to watching these movies.
So you want to know how I figured this movie out? You're going to hate me for this.
Well, I know that you've given me a choice between 1 to 100, and just from context, from what I've gathered, I don't think you've stated this specifically, but you have a shelf of films, right?
Yeah, this is not in those films.
So why did you make me do this?
So
even today, I can't remember when we spoke, but you said it was yesterday, and I said, "Are we still doing the show?" You said, "Yeah, we're still doing Clueless." You don't have to watch it again, like I was going to, because you know me, I will refresh myself and watch it before the show, yes. Which is why I watched it last time, and then the show wasn't going on, and I just hated you. And then you was like, "You don't have to watch it again." I'm not fucking watching it again anyway. You can't pay me to watch this movie again. And it was terrible. Why did you make me do this, Phil?
So I was at the bar.
Oh my God.
You texted me. You're like, and I was working, and there was a couple of women in front, so I'm like, hey, ladies, I need a movie from the 90s to review on my show. And they went, Clueless. I'm like, perfect. And then I messaged you Clueless, even though I asked you a number.
I can't remember what the number was now. What?
I don't even know.
I
know
want
it
to
wasn't. Oh god.
Fill the dead space so that I can find the actual number that I picked, and I want to know
How mad
what
are you at me right now?
I'm so mad. This is worse than my being bullied in high school. It's ridiculous.
Bullied by a movie. But yeah, so the film is 97 minutes long. They're talking about a remake.
Okay, no, I can't find it because it was on my old phone number, and I haven't got those messages anymore. So.
Thank God.
Yeah, no, this is the problem with these kind of movies. Also, is people, maybe not just in England but around the world, they watch these sort of movies and they think, like you said, this is what high school's like. No, it's not. Like it, I get the similar. There are some similarities to what we have to go through. There are, like your groups.
There are the
cliques. Yeah, the cliques. That there's different characters. You got the popular people. You got the less popular people. You got the outcasts like myself. You got the sporty people, and I understand that trope and how that has managed to stick around for so many years. But there's no way of me knowing if any of this is true unless I went to American high school. But I'll probably get arrested because I'm, nearly in my 40s. If I just rocked up.
Yeah, I'm just visiting. The cops are like, sir.
Yeah, where's the popular girl with the nice shoes? I need to speak to her.
Oh, have you watched Cobra Kai this season yet?
No, I've not watched any of it. Yeah,
mate.
I remember enjoying Karate Kid, but I'm not a massive Karate Kid fan. So
if you ever enjoyed the Karate Kid, this just makes it even better because it's nearly the movie as a TV series.
Okay, it's one of those ones where I can see it growing in popularity. Even when it first started, I saw how popular it was.
It is so 80s. Like the last season is so 80s filled. Like it's just in the 80s. Like it's a karate. Like it's if you watch the Karate Kid and you're like, oh, I wish I could get more Karate Kid. Like I want to see more of the story of the Karate Kid, but but with like better martial arts, because the Karate Kid's martial arts are like, questionable. But this one, there is literally a scene where one of the final fights, because it ends up being a tournament. One of the final fights, you have like kind of the bad guy of the season. Just his dojo, his gi top wasn't sitting properly because it was open from a toss. So he just rips it off and he's all like just bare chested, kind of like a badass in an 80s film. And then
did they do it in slow motion?
No, I don't think they did it in slow motion. He just like took it off and whipped it off, and he's all like buff and glistening like an 80s. And you're like, this is a 17-year-old boy. What are we doing? What are we doing? But wait, it gets better because they bring in the meta. It flips over, and you see the referee and his opponent go, and his opponent goes like, "Can he do this?" And the ref's like, "Oh," like in an 80s movie, no one's gonna question it. But when they bring that level in, because it's like, why aren't people asking that question? So the guy's like, so he just rips it off, and he has this tattoo on his back. A hawk.
What?
it's like when you watch when you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, oh, that's our baddest. But it's like just like this ridiculous. You have these two 17-year-olds like ripping it off like they're Jean-Claude Van Damme versus, in Bloodsport or something. It is the 80s as a TV show, like how you would love, like, okay, this is what I love about streaming. Like they can reboot old movies for new generations, but actually make it good because it can tell a longer story arc. Like they literally have 3 arcs going, and they make it and they control it so well and intertwine it so well that you're not upset with it.
Yeah,
like sometimes they're like, shows or movies have like 18 plot holes, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you're and at the end you're kind of like, maybe they they closed it out. This they actually do, and they keep it going. It's so good, and it's so 80s. I was like, it just gets more and more into the 80s. Like one of the dojos is called Eagle Fang Bites. You know, like Eagle Fang
the
karate.
manliest, 80th name you could think
Right?
of. Yeah. Okay, that's going on my list for sure. I will
Yeah.
get around to Cobra Kai after all the other stuff that I'm supposed to be catching up on.
I'm
so
so
behind.
worth it. But yeah, going back to Clueless, like this is something like karate and like stuff doesn't happen like that. Like there's no way the karate is like an insane mega event because we're like no way. We've seen it on you, like we've seen karate tournaments. They are boring as fuck. They're not, ladies and gentlemen, you know, like no, there's none of those. But you see it and you're like, I wish it was like that.
Yeah, it's the sort of things that when you was younger you'd see karate in the movies and you go out and learn karate and realize just how boring it is. It's not the big flashy thing that you see in the movies. You end up just packing it in and just throwing your gi in the closet and just never looking at it again.
Like I was lied to. The movies lied to me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm speaking about with this whole Clueless thing. Like I get
well, bring around. I like that.
I know.
Segue, beautiful.
Yeah,
we have to call out segues here. Just segues and pulling into the conversation.
Come back. Yeah, even though I don't want to talk about Clueless, but I thought I've got to bring it back round just so we can get it out of the way and I never have to discuss it again. And then I'm going to come to Canada and burn your bar down. That's what I'm doing after this.
No, don't do that. Look, we're in lockdown, so it's even worse, brother. It's worse than being burnt down. But yes, Clueless. Look, it's.
I think the most I can say about this movie is that I get it, I understand it. I just didn't like it. It's just boring. Again, it's just because it's not aimed at us. That's the problem with. I think it
also destroyed the pecking order of females' social life.
Yeah, because it tells people to act a certain way, and maybe because of this movie and movies like this, it filtered through to high schools and stuff, and people think, well, maybe we should have a hierarchy of popularity. And that's maybe why so many people are miserable because of this movie.
Jesus. Okay, mister. Get off your high horse.
I'm blaming Elisa Silverstone for all bullying.
Wow. America. I'm going to have to clip that and put that onto the social media. Put it all automated.
Yeah. At Elisa Silverstone, you are at fault for all of America's bullying.
Wow. Like, really? Wow.
Yeah, I said it here. No,
I am not clipping that up. You know what? No, I am. Controversial things said on the Phil Better Show.
Aaron Talks Films gets cancelled.
Right? Tonight on ABC News, how a British pop star.
You know what?
It's a pop star.
To be fair, this would be really good for my career. So go for it. It would get me cancelled for like a week, and then I'll just rise in popularity because Aaron.
Everybody was like, you know what? I agree with him. Yeah. Don't cancel the Aaron. You know what I feel? So there's a podcast that is British.
Is it Aaron Talks Films?
Well, it's one of them. It's one of them.
Okay.
No, it's a duo. They have some celebrities and they do some stupid things on. I can't remember it, but it's such great. I'm getting this vibe. I like it. They're silly. They're stupid. Anyways, they take the gaff. Is it the gaff? I don't know. The crack. I don't know. You guys use a weird language over there.
We take the piss.
There you go. We take the piss. Oh wait, no. The fancy people say the gaff.
That sounds very wrong. Yeah.
But yes, Clueless. It's an amazing film. It's a 6.9. Yeah,
again, like it's not. I said before, it's not bad. It doesn't. Like I'm acting like it offends me. It doesn't. It's just nothing, and I think that's why I'm so upset because this absolute cult classic that apparently I've seen 5 times and didn't even realize. Again, there's stuff in there that is interesting. It doesn't really follow through, and it just doesn't grab me enough to make me want to give it, say that it's a good film. Even though I know in there is a good movie somewhere.
No,
and
oh my.
If you was to bulk the script up with an actual writer, as opposed to, you know,
It's based on a fucking book from 1890 something.
it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure most movies are based on some kind of fiction.
Yeah, if we look at Sherlock Holmes, you know, like it's a basic thing. Even any of the Sherlock Holmes movies are better than this, and they were written before it. Frankenstein.
Have you seen every Sherlock Holmes movie? Because there are some really bad ones out there.
I'm only
It's not
talking
just
about the official ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The two official ones that you know about. There's more than that.
No,
There's
I
some
know
old-
that Mr. Christopher Lee, the legend himself, played Sherlock Holmes a few times.
I'm pretty sure Ian McKellen has played Sherlock Holmes as well.
I know.
But I'm talking. There must be at least 50
billion. There are a lot because he's in the open.
There are so many, and I can guarantee you at least one of them is terrible. At least one. You know,
they're terribly good.
Just because it's based on a book doesn't mean it's good. That's all I'm going to say.
Just like this one was based on a book and is no, it's not us. But I have to say they did pick some. Like Brittany Murphy is the cute as a bun. They picked the right people for the characters.
As I was watching it, I was just like, oh, I forgot Brittany Murphy was in this, and it made me sad as well because you know she was taken way too soon. But she played that character so well. Like I say, everything in this movie is just kind of passable. You know, all the actors are brilliant, but they're not good enough to make the movie better, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Paul Rudd is an absolute treasure, but just, you know, I love him in anything, and I love him in this, but it doesn't make the movie better. You know, it's, I think...
If they had an actual story that maybe beefed... Well, no...
There is a story arc, but it's a nothing story arc. It's just her like, oh, look at me, I'm really rich and I've got cool clothes. And
the problem is it's a rich person learning a lesson that like it should be fundamental in life.
I don't even remember what her lesson was that she learned. I fancy my stepbrother. Was that it?
No, I think she has to be nice.
I'm gonna have sex with my
shallow
stepbrother.
rich, showing herself as a matchmaker, coaxing two teachers into dating. What is the plot?
Oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, the teachers got married.
Plot summary. Let's see if I can get here. Cher is a rich, pretty blonde, popular, and knows how to talk to anyone into doing just about anything. When she can't get a teacher to give her a better grade, she and her friend Dion match him up with another teacher to make him happier, and maybe a bit laxer on his expectation. When a girl named Tay transfers to Cher's school, she and Dion give her a makeover and attempt to find her a boyfriend. Cher soon realizes that she wants a boyfriend herself, but no one seems right. She goes through a spiritual makeover and realizes that there's more to life than clothes and popularity before she finds the boy of her dreams.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got the full synopsis here.
The crux of that is she was bored. She saw a new girl who wasn't going to be popular, so she decided to mold her in her own image and tell her how to act and how to be. And that girl ends up dating the guy that she wanted in the first place anyway. So if anything, Cher just got in the way and almost fucked her life up because she nearly died because of the way she was told to act. Yeah, when she nearly fell off the balcony because she was flirting with those two guys who normally she would not have gone near. So Cher...
You are mad.
Cher,
you are mad, sir.
Cher is the root of all of America's bullying. I proved my point.
This is the hill you're dying on, really?
Yeah. I just, you know what I mean? It's just she was bored, so she thought she'd do a little experiment with someone's, you know, a human being and their feelings. That's not a good lesson to learn, is it? Really?
I'm not disagreeing.
She's a bully, essentially. And then she realizes that the only guy she should be with is someone who technically is related to her, if you really want to get down to it. Not by blood, but they are related because her dad married his mum. Yeah. They're no longer together, but they are still technically family. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying?
That's all I'm saying. She's a bitch.
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch.
Damn. Yeah. And on that crazy note, we're gonna end the show. Aaron, where can they find you and listen to you?
Before I get cancelled, I am at Aaron Talks Films everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. Yeah, everywhere. Aaron Talks Films.
And I am, of course, the @podcaster Feel Better on Instagram. And if you
I'll
want to
just
follow
quickly, if anyone is interested, I'm just while we're on TikTok, don't huff at me, sir. I've decided I've put a picture up on my TikTok, and it's a load of random tattoo ideas. And when I get to 10,000 followers on TikTok, the one of those pictures with the most votes, I'll get tattooed on my arm because it's just funny. And there's some really weird pictures on there. So go ahead, follow me and vote. And yeah,
Can I talk now?
It's your show.
Well, I was trying to talk before you cut me off.
I just remembered. You always tell me to get my plugs in. So
Yeah, well,
that's weird.
We're going to be canceled for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I am, of course, Phil Better, the podcasting mogul. If you want to follow me and learn how to automate, monetize, and grow your podcast easily and smart, like I always say, work smarter, not harder. Follow me over at Podcaster Phil Better. But if you want to follow the show and support the show, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to Instagram at Phil Better Show. Make us a like, give us a hug. I thank you so much, you guys. You are amazing. This is why we do this show, is to entertain you, but also it's just to have some fun, right, Aaron?
No.